All right, we are live. So
Live.
says StreamYards. Yes, we are live, everyone. Come through. Come on. Get you time to get situated and settled. Darius is observing his surroundings for the first time, apparently.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I did a new setup with mine. I got like 3 screens now, so I'm just trying to get used to how my mouse. I still got used to it.
You got like a command center over there now, or
exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's all coming together now. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm very proud of this. I'm like super proud of this.
Oh my gosh!
My goodness! Man, that's what Darius got for Christmas. That's what Siobhan got him for Christmas. Monitors.
Well, you know, I bought myself one monitor and company, so they gave her 2 new monitors. So I just got me some hand-me-downs. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
So I'm excited about that. You know what I mean? I take anything for free.
Everybody wins.
Exactly.
But speaking of which, we can kind of bridge that into our warm-up. So everyone on this panel and out there on Facebook and YouTube and Periscope, what is your favorite, or was your favorite, or still is your favorite Christmas gift as a child or man or woman? Let's go around.
Favorite
Christmas gift.
Yeah, man, something you got for Christmas, either under the tree or somebody's like,
I know what it was.
What is it?
As a kid, it was 2. One year I got the Game Boy Color.
Whoa.
That was amazing.
Yes.
And then the next year I got the Nintendo 3DS with the magnifying screen and the little light. So like if, you know, well, when I was supposed to be in bed and the lights were off, I still could see what I'm doing.
That was big time for the Game Boy. Yes, that was the one problem it had.
And I think I had like Pokemon Gold. It was amazing.
Well, I could tell you what mine was. It was when I got my first my NES system back in 1990.
What?
NES, Nintendo Entertainment System. Young buck. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
The duck game with the gun.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had the glove. I had the glove and everything, man.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I just didn't understand the NES part. So I was like, wait a minute, what? I had it too.
Yeah, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? For the young ones. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was my favorite Christmas gift. You know what I'm saying? Like anytime I got a new game system, that was like, but that one I remember, I didn't even expect to get that. And that joint just showed up under that tree. I was just like, oh, I pass out.
That was a good system.
And then my grandma claimed that it messed up her TV. And I was just like, that's just something old people say to make us not want to play the game and tear their TV up.
Right.
Nah, she just wanted to watch in the heat of the night when you wanted to play the game. And she was like, get off my TV. But she couldn't say that because then you go cry into your mom. So, no excuse.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. For me, I think my favorite Christmas present, for me, it was probably when I got one of my bikes. Like, I wanted to upgrade one of my bikes and go. It was like a mountain bike, right? So it had like the straight bar. Like, it was just going from that like elementary school bike to like the middle
to a real bike.
Right. That was good. But these gaming systems are making me remember. I remember when I got my Game Boy, the original Nintendo. I had that. I think PS2 is my favorite system though, growing up. For me. So yeah, that was like early 2000s. I think it came out around 2000, 99, 2000.
2000.
Yeah, 2000.
Okay, take it over for the 99.
Yep. So that was probably my favorite system. But the bike, I think, was my favorite Christmas present.
Oh yeah, the bike, man. Forgot about that.
Yeah. So that would have to be my top 2 gifts. I think when I was 8, I got a bike. It was a mountain bike. It was a blue one. I remember the color. everything. It was my first real bike. You know what I mean? Like I was, 8 years old. And then when I was 10, I got my Nintendo Entertainment System. So I watched every other kid pretty much get a Nintendo before me. You know what I mean? I know it's been mentioned in a show before. But yes, that was true though. I watched every other kid get a Nintendo before me. I think the Nintendo went out in '95, so I really only had 3 years of support before I had to go get a Genesis. But it was still cool. Mario 3 is an all-time game. I never beat it, but I got all the way to the last level.
Rescue Princess.
Yeah, I never rescued the real princess, man. It was always in another castle. But it was fun to play, and then I just ended up playing stuff like Punch-Out and World Cup Soccer and stuff like that. And that just started this whole thing with games. I've gotten lots of game systems since. So I was a late bloomer, but I got into it quickly.
Yeah. That's good, man.
Oh man, I don't give gifts anymore. I just get cash or I know now, like even a tradition that we have with my family on my dad's side, we go and tag our tree and we'll cut it down or we'll decorate it together. And then actually we'll try to give back to a family. So we'll go and give Christmas to someone else that's, didn't have the opportunity to be able to give Christmas to their own family. And then as for us, my dad will take us to like a store or a mall or something and just let us go shop and get whatever we want to get. So it's pretty cool. Like I like the fact that, we kind of had that concept of just giving back, to the community in that way. So it's been becoming a tradition like every year. So it's something I look forward to in December. Yeah.
That's good, Good old wholesome Christmases. My mom used to hate to buy me bikes because I tear them up. Like bikes did not last past spring with me. I'm telling you.
Oh gosh.
We had to learn how to repair our bikes. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm telling you, like I get a Huffy, and I'm talking about it'll be the one I want. And I'll be like, man, look, it got the tiger stripes on it and everything. As soon as I take that joint out, man, it's just like some hill just be like, I want you to come for me. Hill. And I look at that hill like, you mine, and I ride and I jump it like, rah! And it's always a rock in the way.
Yeah.
It's always a rock. It's always a rock somewhere.
It was Jesus trying to tell you to slow down.
Now the tire gone, and then my mom was like, yo, I'm not buying new tires every time.
At all.
I was about to ask you, were you jumping a ravine or something? Like
yeah, because it was a lot of gullies and stuff like that. And we used to be in the woods because we used to think we thought we were mountain bikers. You know what I'm saying? So we
put your hands up in the air and like go down real quick.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So we just had fun with it, man, and it just never worked out well, man. Like I'm telling you, I ran through so many bikes as a kid, it didn't make sense.
That's terrible.
Man. I remember riding through neighborhoods and seeing the light displays, like the neighbors were competing or something. Like I don't really see that anymore because I guess everybody's trying to mind their light bill or something. I don't know. But I remember there was this neighborhood that they had it was like a whole block, like 10 or 12 houses. And my dad would ride through there like it was Callaway Gardens.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Ooh. And just look at everybody with their lights and see what they do each year and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if we had holiday lights like that. My grandma used to string lights up on the porch. But,
that's about it.
Was never like no big. Yeah, it wasn't a big ordeal. Like I tell people, I had one Christmas tree. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, because it was just like, especially the live one that my grandma got one time. I was just like, I got to keep vacuuming every time this thing dead.
Water it.
You don't ever have to buy me another live Christmas tree. I apologize for asking. I saw it on TV. I thought it was cool. It was always clean under their tree. Thought it was something to do. It's not.
No, it smells good though. Like I was walking by some live trees yesterday, and it smelled nice. But I'm like, I'm not taking any of these home. We've got 6 trees in our house. They're all artificial, and that's okay. But it smelled nice though. It smelled nice yesterday. That's all I got.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we used to have lights right around our doors, so it was like this thing where it was like singing lights. Okay, so there was this electronic box, and like they made it look like a present and everything. So you just kind of, attach the lights to it. We would string them, along our door jamb or whatever. And you plug them in, and it had like 6 different songs programmed in it. Okay, and then it would blink to the tune of the song, do 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 do, and so on. Only problem is that sometimes, you'd have those lights on all night, and they'd be the only sound in the neighborhood, and it really reverberated. Like I hadn't realized until I was older, like, man, people might have a real problem with these lights.
Yeah.
So let me turn this off like around midnight before I go to bed or something.
Right, exactly. But there's there's been a house in Houston that's been going very viral, and they're just like, they're singing lights, but there's all linked to like very popular songs, like from the Baby and like Meg Thee Stallion, all that. Like they just like they have like a whole animated Christmas trees that's actually singing the lyrics. And then there's different like LED panel that's like saying the words of the song.
My goodness.
It's like
I think I've seen it.
Nah, me and them people be fighting. All right. I say,
excuse. It's crazy.
I'll be like, what that got to do with Christmas?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then all the cars pull up, like everyone's coming to look at it, and then you've got like 10 cars parked in the street blocking your driveway.
Yeah,
exactly.
That would irritate me.
I'm just trying to get home.
Yeah.
Right. Can I pull in?
I'll be the dude sitting in the window talking about, just look at them. Just look at them.
Disturbing the peace.
Don't sell your house at Christmas time then.
No.
You're never gonna sell. You got to sell the summer.
Yeah, call it all off.
Long before close by August 1st. Don't let them know the crazy.
Right, exactly.
Oh Jesus.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Might have provided the whole soundtrack for like people's Christmas party. They don't even have to turn on their playlist. All they got to do is open the window and blaze the heat a little bit.
Exactly.
And there the music will get to.
Yep. Exactly. So
yeah, man.
That was fun.
Yeah, I feel good and stretched out vocally.
I'm ready.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh, you was gonna say something?
You know what? Like we're already recording, of course.
Right.
I don't do anything extra to make it the podcast, do I? I just edit this part out, right? That's
you added
it's so new. Like only done this 2 other times. So it's like
the live is the live, but whatever.
Yeah,
right.
But when we get to posting on,
the audio side.
On the other side, we do a little editing.
Exactly. Vulnerability.
Yeah, we can tell we do this once a month now. You know what I'm saying? Every week. You know what I'm saying? Every week it was just like, oh yeah, we know everybody know what they're doing.
The first time we got back together, we didn't even know what our intro was.
We sure did. I was just like, hey, Corona done threw a monkey wrench in this whole thing. I don't know how to get started anymore. But all right, but we're back. You know what I'm saying? Me. What's up, everybody? This is your boy Darius J.
And I'm Stevie Neal.
And it's your girl Mela G.
With special guest
Dr. Michael.
And this is
Convrs8.
Let's talk about it.
All right, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm finna mess up. You know what?
I
I'm finna mess up.
was supposed to say something.
Yeah, I was finna mess up. But I'm glad I'm there. Welcome everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad to have y'all Glad to
Yes.
have y'all again. Another month to tune in. Right
Another
before
happy landing of the intro.
Exactly. Yeah, because I finna do the A like we
Yeah,
did
you
back in the
Right,
old days.
right.
I had the A face, you know what I'm
Yeah.
2 and 3.
saying? But yeah, you know what I'm saying? We back, everybody. You know, we sliding in right before Christmas up on your Christmas tree, like and good person that like gifts would. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
How you living? Mela G.
Oh gosh. I've been living well. This past week was a very, very emotionally draining one, but for a good purpose. This past Friday, my job, I work at Ideal Institute of Technology up here in South Jersey, and we're giving the gift of opportunity away to local Atlantic County residents, where we're giving away $1 million in tuition scholarship and also $100,000 cash stipends to those who are looking to earn and complete their high school diploma. There's
Oh.
about 30,000 people, 30,000 residents here that don't have a high school diploma. And majority of those people are youth between the ages of 16 and 24. And so our way of giving back this year is not a gift, it's not anything material, it's the gift of education and giving them the opportunity to be able to not just receive training, but get paid while doing it. So we want to be able to give them a stipend, help. So the biggest thing too, and with the launch, is to be able to partner with a local organization that can help us eliminate some of the barriers that even prevent people from being able to actually complete their high school diploma. It could be financial, it can be transportation, the lack thereof, it can be this. We live in a lot of there's different reasons why people, mental illness, mental health, different things like that, special needs, whatever the case may be. And then with just this pandemic, a lot of people don't really do well virtually. And so even I could be mistaken, but I do feel like we're the only people that kind of still give that hands-on training and learning, even on the high school diploma level. And then we're not also like giving you 5 or 7 different classes to juggle each day. We're giving you the opportunity to focus on one subject at a time. And as you feel confident in that subject, you're able to take the test, you get your high school diploma. And then now we're offering as well the opportunity for you to get trade certification. So with a job. So and that's another reason why we're partnering with organizations, to be able to give an employee contract that says something to the regards of, once you finish this trade certification, this is going to be the job that you're going to enter into. And over the course of that, certification and what you're learning, our job is not only to be able to help you learn that skill, but also be able to transition into the job that is being offered, in whatever capacity that is. Soft skills, corporate skills, like we kind of call it corporate, like socio corporate skills, because a lot of people don't really know what to do or how to act in those type of spaces. So we're not just want to teach you the skills, but kind of really prepare you for the space that you're entering into as well. So it's been really great to kind of like be a part of this, like this holiday season. But this is something that we've always been offering, as a school, but we wanted to kind of package it to like, this is a gift that we're giving this season, the gift of education, the gift of opportunity for you to be able to get paid while training and getting your high school diploma. So that's been my week. It's been very rewarding. It was tiresome, but it was worth something so much more. It's so much bigger than that. So I'm grateful to be a part of this movement.
That sounds good. You know what I'm saying? I thought you were finna say free tuition. And I was just about to say, hey, Melly, I'd like to enroll in your school.
You can't. It's not just high school diploma. I mean, we are giving that away, but I mean, you still can enroll. Like a lot of our classes are 100% online. So, you still can get that trade certification, even if you don't live here. Well, I know that's just the opportunity that we want to give residents here, because we know that there's a lot of people, 30,000 people don't have a high school diploma. And that's one of the basic things that people look for in a job, having your high school diploma. And so that's why we're doing it for free. You as an adult 45, 50, 60, doesn't matter. We have actually someone that's 45 right now enrolled in our free adult GED class. So it's like, and they've already passed one part of their test. So this is
Right.
this is the gift that we want to be able to give. Like, hey, we want to eliminate every barrier that we possibly can to help you get where you desire to be in life. So it's
Hey, man. Hey, that's good stuff. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, I might have to look into that now. But how you live, Dr. Michael?
Yeah, we've been trying to do this thing with the kids called we're just doing like 25 days of Christmas.
Mhm.
So each night, like my wife planned it, she's the mastermind behind it. Like I'm not even gonna try to take credit, but every night, like we're doing something with them to celebrate, especially this year. I think like COVID 2020, it's just, we can't do everything like we normally would. So
Mhm.
just wanting them to have like a good experience. And so it's been fun. Like it's like different nights, like we might watch a Christmas movie, like a classic. We watch Jingle Jangle. We like saved that on purpose for December because it came out in November, but like we saved it on purpose. So like some nights are that, some nights are making like Rice Krispie treats or whatever, or sometimes we go out and do something, of course, like distance, masked up, all that. But it's been nice. It's been nice. And like this week we intentionally like picked a couple families we adopted and did gifts, so we did drop off for that today before this. And so it's been nice, like trying to sprinkle in some of it being fun for us, some of it being giving back. But just like they're getting excited every day now, like, okay, what's the thing we're going to do today? And we don't tell them till it's like time, but it's been fun to see their eyes light up. Like normally we'll go check out lights once a week or something like that, but we've been really like every day, and a lot of it can be free. It doesn't have to be expensive, but it's been nice. So that's created some like good family time right now, especially again with 2020 being what she's been to us. So
Yeah,
it's been nice for them.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
How you live, Stevie Neal? We can't hear you, bud.
Story of 2020. That should be the phrase of the year. 2020 is you're muted. But anyway, so this year has been cool. Just our small group encouraged a daycare. Misty and Avis, their little baby Sarai goes to Grandma's Finest daycare around the way from them. So we all decided to encourage them by getting them some munchkins and juice and fruit, just something to show them that we appreciate what they do for the community. So so we got that together this week. It happened on Wednesday. So, and our ministry's been doing that for a lot of different services throughout their individual communities. So fire stations, police stations, hospital workers, teachers, stuff like that. So, so that was real good to see throughout the week that happening. And then just the holiday stuff, like, decorating this tree or whatever. A friend wanted to get rid of a tree and we didn't have one. We couldn't find ours. You know what I mean? I put a bunch of stuff outside in the shed. So I was like, if it's there, then, that's over with. I'm not taking that thing out. I don't know what's out there. So so I was like, all right, we scored a tree. So we just got some decorations yesterday and, flocked it with some decorations, so getting into the holiday spirit. And it's procrastination pays because, it was 50% off all of those ornaments there. So
let's go.
I'm glad I didn't do it after Thanksgiving now, it would cost twice as much.
Exactly.
Okay, what flavor is that Capri Sun that you're sipping on though?
Right, exactly.
Oh,
I'm getting
it's a
like
fruit
90s
punch.
vibes.
Oh, what?
I was looking at that too. I said, "Do we have a Capri Sun
It's a
right
Capri Sun, yes.
I thought it was strawberry
there?"
kiwi, but fruit punch is fine too.
Hey man,
Pacific Cool is my favorite one, but they were out, so I had to get fruit punch.
that's the original right there.
Come
You know what I'm saying?
on.
Not
We're
even
gonna talk
bologna
about
sandwich.
chocolate. Come on.
Ah man.
Some gushers. Isn't that what they were called?
Yeah,
Gushers.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
now that's
Oh, man, or Shark Bites. Y'all, what y'all know about Shark Bites?
Hey.
Shark Bites are
Hey
amazing.
man, but I'm gonna tell you, Gushers had got me so upset because when I first bit into a Gusher, I expected what happened on TV on the commercial
gosh, stop
to
it.
be.
Really?
I wanted to just out my mouth, and then
Or you want to
when
turn
it-
into a berry, your head to just turn
yeah,
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying. I wanted the whole Gusher experience, and it didn't happen for me. I was so upset. I was just like, Grandma, you could take these back. I don't want no more Gushers. These Gushers that has false advertised my whole mind. I'm blown right now. I ain't get the juice. I ain't get the fruit head.
Nothing.
None of that.
Well, how you living, Darius J?
Living well. This week was a long week. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the most part, just work been hectic, man. Like work been super hectic. Work been a little bit draining, you know what I'm saying? Like, but still, you know what I'm saying, having my mind focused on just the things I'm trying to complete, you know what I'm saying? School is an ongoing thing right now. Kind of up in the air because I took it this semester off, you know what I'm saying, just to kind of I just ain't had the time for real. I didn't want to, but I felt things slipping. So I was just like, man, let me just take time off and recalibrate because I don't want to lose my position, you know what I'm saying, just by not knowing that okay, it's time to take a break, you know what I'm saying? Like you worked on picked up a lot. It is the end of the year. Things are moving kind of different. And I didn't have the time to put towards things that I need to put time towards. And so it was just, long week, you know what I mean? But like any good long week, I had a time to, reset. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time weekend, most of my weekends I work harder than I do on my weekdays. But just had time to reset because we've been going, you know what I'm saying, ever since Thanksgiving. And then I went to Savannah to help my brother start his podcast, you know what I'm saying? And then I went to my sister's house in Clarksville, Tennessee. Me and my wife went there. We kind of just been traveling the whole time, you know what I'm saying? Like seeing family because, we missed them, man. Been set up in the house for a while and you miss your family, man. You miss seeing your loved ones. So you want to get out there and be able to, touch, everybody was with their hand sanitizers and stuff like that. But it was good. Yeah. And, at the end of the day, too, just like today, me and my wife, we was telling each other we need to start back reading our books. We used to read books together when we was dating. We used to read books together. You know what I'm saying? We used to read books. We'd read a couple chapters and we'd discuss them, break them down. Even first, we started out just reading relationship books. We really do good reading relationship books because me and my wife, we met each other. We were very grown. You know what I'm saying? She was in her career. I was in mine. Don't want to, but we always like to share books because it helped us elaborate on our feelings, or it helped us navigate our minds and stuff like that. And it's like right now we're reading his needs, her needs. We started that book when we were dating, but that book got a little spicy after chapter 2, and I just like, no, won't need to read that book right now. You know what I'm saying? It's making me tingle on the inside. I can't read that. You know what I'm saying?
Don't need to know about those needs yet.
Yeah, we talking about that. We right here we out here holding hands still. So so we started back reading the book. We kind of left it up in the air, but finally started back reading it, man. And it started out real good because we couldn't have had the conversation we had today. When we were dating, 6 years ago, 6-7 years ago, you know what I'm saying? So that I'm glad to pick the book up and revisit it because it helps develop healthy conversations on how things are and give us perspective on where we want to go. And sometimes we forget that things fall through the cracks and we don't actually say them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We just be thinking them, and then all of a sudden you just like, man, I could have swore I told you that. You know what I'm saying? And then now you're in the kerfuffle and got to put everything back together. I want to apologize to your later side of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, it helps with accountability as well too. And I like that. I enjoy that about our relationship. I enjoy that about our marriage. I enjoy how open we are with each other and how we allow each other to bleed through in our relationship. Because it's like I tell people all the time, we were two single people before we got married. We had our own lives and we were living the way we wanted to live.
Right.
We came together. We brought those things into a relationship. Relationship sometimes, once you get in a relationship, you start figuring out like, oh, this ain't supposed to be in this. You can't survive in a relationship with that. You start moving things in and out. But then eventually, you come to the thing where, oh, these are the things that make us work. Yep. And that's what, that's what we do when we read, you know what I'm saying? And I like that. I like to see what don't change. I like the fact that we notice the changes in each other. We don't expect each other to stay the same. We notice growth, and with growth, there's always change.
Yeah.
And that's been my week. That's been the highlight of the end of my week, the long week. But my mind, I realized something about myself too. I like intimate conversations. I like a deep conversation. If I don't have that deep conversation, I don't feel like I'm loved, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. I don't feel like I'm getting close to the person that I'm supposed to, be close to. So when I have those conversations, we had those conversations with each other, I'd be like, man, I feel like I'm getting a hug in my mind.
Is that one of your love languages, words of affirmation?
Yes, it is. You know what I'm saying? It is. Yeah. So it was just like, oh man, it's so good. I've been holding this in, I think. And then she, share how she feel and she get deep. And I was like, man, it's so good, man. And sometimes it be deep and then I'd be like, oh man, that was some criticism right there. I ain't like that too much. It kind of scraped my brain but it's all a part of growth and relationship and love. If anybody ever been in love, they know what I'm talking about, or in love with their wives currently. Mella, you'll get that one day.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, one day.
One day.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's how I'm living. Good.
Yeah, so just taking this time to mention that this entire episode has been brought to you by Samara's Special Sweets.
Yeah.
We've been plugging them all week at least, and probably beyond that, because they are some special cookies, Mella. Yes, very special cookies.
You stop rubbing it in.
Mella.
I have not got my cookies yet.
Mella.
If you are on here,
Mella,
Samara,
let me
tell
you about them cookies.
Tomorrow. Because I don't know how much preserve it has in this mailbox van. I'm so tired, right? You got your cookies, Steve. And you got your cookies, Darius. Y'all.
Hey man, I ate all my cookies.
Yeah, mine were gone within 24 hours.
Yo, let me tell you something. I ate all my cookies. I was
New
just
Jersey.
like, hey.
It's South Jersey at this point.
Hey, I'm telling you, the person at the post office got a cup of hot chocolate and your cookies thanking you. Like, hey, man, yeah, exactly. Like,
it's okay.
It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny.
Whoever Pamela Little is, man, I thank you. But you ain't getting these cookies.
It's like the season 2. So people just I told them, I said, someone literally ripped through one of my cards that one of my best friends sent me. And it wasn't even like a holiday season card. It was her thanking me because me and a bunch of us got together and did a surprise Zoom birthday party for her. So she sent out all these thank you cards. But before I could even open it, it was ripped on the side, and it had been tampered with. Before
he needed encouragement.
He didn't.
Everything you've been.
That is breaking the law. Whoever
everything
needs to go to jail.
everything you've been getting sent has been encouragement to that postal worker, man. You know, that postal worker been in there like, man, whoever Pamela is, she don't know that she's blessing
It's okay.
me
I'm going to have cookies with y'all
by not receiving her blessing.
But Miller, when you said that it's in South Jersey now, that reminded me of like Hangover 2. It belongs to Bangkok now. Like, you know,
oh my god!
Just ask. Just say, can I please have my cookies tomorrow? Just ask. Like,
hey, if you out there, where you at, Miller? In Jersey. If you out in Jersey right now and you that postal worker, would you please send Mella the remainder? No, it ain't gonna be all them cookies.
I don't
send
care.
her the
I
rest.
want at least one. I just want one peanut butter cookie. That's all I ask for.
And the peanut butter cookie was good, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a sucker for, but you know, my favorite cookie in the world, everybody that know me know I love a chocolate chip and pecan cookie.
Oh,
that was,
you know what I'm saying?
That was,
and let me tell you something. That one put a smile on my face. I said, I had a hard long day. I had just worked 16 hours. I bit that cookie. I said, little bites of joy.
I didn't share those with the kids. The kids, I shared some of the other ones, but those, I took them out the box and put them to the side. I ate all mine.
You got to pay some bills to have these cookies.
Right.
Exactly.
These are daddy cookies.
Right.
Children cookies are the ones that, you know, I got, you know, these I like these, but these the ones daddy really like.
Right,
so.
but these you're not touching. Right. I ate a little bit of all of them, but
yeah. Because I actually like that ginger cookie, and I'm not a ginger cookie person.
I was about to say I'm not a ginger cookie, but that was my favorite one. That vegan ginger.
I'm just so
I might be a vegan in 2021 off of that inspiration.
Yo, that ginger cookie, I was just like, yo, I used to not like when my grandma gave me like ginger snaps. I used to be like, what in the world is this cookie? But when I ate that cookie, Samara, listen to me. I know you're on here. I see. That ginger cookie is something special. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I don't even like ginger cookies, but I can take 12 more of them and some chocolate chip. I'm gonna put my order in. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I'm gonna make mine and I'm gonna just come pick them up. I'm gonna be like blah blah blah, and I'm drive through, go back. I will share one or two with my wife. You know what I'm saying? But she know I'm a cookie man, and it's hard for me to come back with cookies for everybody.
Well, she should make it into a good bread, man.
Oh. Yes, so Samara's special sweets, everyone.
Yeah, Samara's special sweets.
I will have them soon, and I will personally give you my feedback, which I'm sure that I'll enjoy them. So,
yeah. Or it'll be a note in the box, and the postal worker will be telling you how much he enjoyed your cookie.
I'll just make a trip to Georgia at this point. I'm making a trip to Georgia, and I'll let you know when I'm coming.
I'm coming with money in hand tomorrow. I'm like, hey, here we go. Bap cookies. I need them right now. I got my money right here on deck.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Well, yeah.
So yes, now that we've given our, favorites of Samara's special sweets, we'll have more on our title sponsor in a bit. So now let's get into the topics though. And first of all, this one is a conversation that gained some traction here. So a young lady applied to Spelman College. She got in. She was so excited.
So excited.
But this young woman happens to be white. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so now social media is taking her to task. She said that she was genuinely excited, but then she realized that maybe, her enthusiasm could be interpreted as disingenuous, I guess, or, not sensitive to the struggle of, how HBCUs were founded in the first place.
Yeah.
I need some opinion on this. I really do. I really do want to understand the consternation here. I think Darius Jace shares my sentiments.
Yes, because I did not get it. Because I was just like, why y'all giving this lady all this grief? I was like,
Exactly.
this lady is like, I like, how genuine did they want her to be? Or like, I didn't understand that article. I was just like, the environment that we're in now, I'm like, people find something wrong with everything they see on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, every time somebody shows a little joy, but that person ain't having joy, they was like, this person is oppressing me with that joy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or this person is not serious about, like, man, like, she showed her, she even talked about the steps she took, and even the people that she was in contact with through a mentorship program or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I forgot his name, Umoja or something like that. And that, and and those, that was helping her through the process. And I mean, that she did everything she was supposed to do. Like, let her be happy about what she want to go to school at. And then people were like, she just wanted to be like a person to say that she had black friends. I'm like, what, did she say that? She didn't say that. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I was just like, did y'all read the post? That's all I wanted to say. I was like, it looked like to me they just went through the post and said, Spelman, HBCU, Black Girl Magic. That's all they saw. And I was just like, you didn't read how she was giving props to everything about that school. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I didn't see nothing wrong with it. I would have high fived. I was like, hey man, good job, girl. Come on down here in Atlanta. I'll tell you where to eat at down here.
and I think a lot was sparked with, just like you said, Darius, not so much reading the post and then being angry about it, but just the visuals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see this picture, you just see this picture, and then you just have emotions about it, and then you react. The Atlanta Black Star broke this story, by the way. Just want to, give props there. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I felt like. I mean, I get it. I get it. I mean, there's probably some underlying things here, you know what I mean, that's going into reactions. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I don't know, like, because somebody brought up the point of, well, if a black person got into Harvard, then there's really no, celebration for them. You know what I mean? Compared to this, you don't see somebody convulsing over getting into Harvard. I was like, first of all, you don't know that. I'd be pretty psyched to get into Harvard.
That's what I'm saying.
And second of all,
I'll make a video about it. I'd be very like boisterous about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look at me. I got into Harvard, everybody. I am seriously happy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly.
That's right. And there's videos of that everywhere. Of anyone, college acceptances, like that's been a trend for a few years now. But I think the one thing I will say though is as I read it in the article, I understood what a lot of the black women in particular were saying as far as like her comparing her own mental health.
Yes.
To the strife of being black in America. So I mean, I'm cool with, like, I almost transferred in undergrad. My wife went to an HBCU. She went to Wilberforce University, and I really considered transferring at one point to the HBCU because, like, I even went to an interest meeting for Sigma at her campus, not realizing I couldn't pledge if I wasn't a student there. Like, that's how much I was really looking at transferring. But I'll just say, to me as a white person, if I'm going to take up space, I think overall, what she said to me wasn't but so wrong. But I do think that the comparison to mental health, and also I can see again how some people said it almost seems a bit like a fetish with like Black Girl Magic, because it's like, but that's not you. That's not what you're going to have. That's like, is that the goal, or is the education the goal? Is it what is the outcome and what is the goal? So I feel like for me, I get it. I honor and respect like the feedback that I heard, even within the Convrs8 group. Right. Mm-hmm. But, overall though, this doesn't seem to me though to be someone who's like malicious, who's going to go up in there. Like, is she probably going to say the wrong thing at some point and get slapped in the face? Possibly. Yes.
But is she
you know, I don't think she's going to go up in there though, like doing but so much. I think she'll probably make typical mistakes that any of us make as we learn and expand beyond our comfort zone. So,
all right,
And that's acceptable.
Yeah. I have a question though. I have a question. Like, is the reaction quite the same if this was a white guy celebrating in this manner, getting into Morehouse?
we celebrate that white Kappa like there's no other. We celebrate, and I don't even want to speak first. Right, like I don't even want to speak first as the only white person on the panel about this. However, I will say we celebrate white guys that are in D9 orgs or that go to HBCUs. We do celebrate them.
Yeah,
that probably goes back to the issues that can occur within the community as far as black men dating white women versus when it's a black woman dating a white man.
Right.
So like those are handled differently. So I would agree that how we handle a white guy going to an HBCU is definitely going to be a bit different.
Yeah.
And you notice that she has a Spell House hoodie on. I mean, it's almost kind of tailors it to the anger that might be, kind of bubbling under this reaction.
Yeah.
But I don't think any of the black women are stunting on her like that, though. I don't think they're bothered by her. I think it's more of know your place if you're going to come into our space.
Yeah.
Know your place.
Basically.
But that's all I'll say.
Yeah, that's basically what I got from it. Like, I'm not a Spelmanite or anything, but we do have many sisters in our church that are Spelmanites, and I do have close friends who are Spelmanites as well. So, but I do feel like kind of like what Dr. Michael just said. It's just the delivery in which, because it's like her tone. You can't really tell a person's true tone through text, through any type of text. So we couldn't really truly know what her intentions was, but because of the climate of society and what we've just been going through over the past however many years, just as a Black people and the experiences that we've had. And then I just feel like this year and the pandemic has heightened a lot of those issues. Not that they were never present or prevalent. They just, because everybody was on lockdown, everybody's pretty much on social media, everybody had a thought for whatever. It's just like, I think what I would like to see is that we don't jump immediately to conclusions and before we ask questions for clarification. Like, what were your intentions? Because we can't truly tell what your tone was through the message, and I feel like it was sincere. I do feel like wording could have been different, but we never really know what her true tone was because she didn't say it. It wasn't a video, it was just a picture. That was the imagery that we had along with this text. So you got this girl, she's sitting down by a lake. She has a Spell House hoodie on, some Jordan, I think ones.
Yeah. I saw them black, those satin.
And it's like, she could have, and I think also too, that kind of goes towards stereotypes, right? So it's like the Jordan, like, are you trying to say something like that's what we wear, that's how we dress? It can be misinterpreted. I didn't take it that way, but there's just different interpretations that could have come about with that. And then you have this essay, if you will, underneath her photo of just like, okay, this is my experience. This is the people who helped me. I'm not discrediting this. I had mental health issues too. I've experienced this, that, and the third. It's like, what are you comparing that to?
Yeah.
So, and that's what really kind of like bothered me. I was elated. Okay, you accepted it to Spelman. That's an achievement because Spelman ain't no cheap thing. It's not. No. It's very expensive. But in that, I can kind of see where the anger was stirred in the messaging, but we really truly can't tell what her true tone was, which is why she came back apologetic, and addressed the things that people pointed out. But it's just like, I just feel like in situations like this, if we ask for clarification before we jump to conclusions, we wouldn't have to have these discussions in this manner. That's just my thought.
Because I'm all about the teachable moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, it's a time it's a time for everybody to learn lessons. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I be about most of the times. Like, hey, man, just don't come, with the smoke. Just come and just like, hey, what did you mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, or could you explain this? You know what I'm saying? I feel like we'd rather berate people instead of, like ask questions. You know what I'm saying? If our first thing is to just get out our frustration instead of saying, oh, let me seek understanding in this situation. Let me see exactly what they're saying instead of, just starting off on high. You know what I'm saying? Come even kill and ask the questions. And so, because a lot of people with their questions, you can get clarity for a lot more people, and there's been a lot less comments if everybody had time enough to ask questions all the time. Off rip.
Yeah. Didn't she say though something like I don't want to put words in her mouth, so if I'm getting this wrong, I apologize up front. But didn't she say something like she was at her prior school and like watching the Black Student Union or something like that, or some org or something at a bonfire, and that's when her friends like, you should go to an HBCU? Like, that part to me kind of did sound like, what, like, are you admiring from afar? Like, do you have Black friends? Do you know Black culture? Did you grow up around? And I'm being for real. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, like, I like the swag. I like the culture. I like what I see, and I want to be a part. And like, and if so, okay, like if you did grow up around people, I don't feel like you would say that who were Black. I don't feel like you would say that. So I'm going to. You did not. And if you didn't, I feel like there are much easier, more affordable ways to befriend Black people and learn the plight of Black people than transferring to an HBCU. Like, I feel like you can actually just go up to the Black people that are in your world, that are at your church, that you work with, that live in your neighborhood, and you could just be like, hey, we've never really hung out. I just want to hang out. Like, and just make friends. And again, I could be reading into it, so I do not want to put words. I'm not attacking her. Like, again, I think overall, like, it's probably okay. I think, though, I do agree, Darius. I just think it's going to be like teachable moments, and this was one of her first major ones. It was very public. If she can get through this, then she'll be okay at Spelman. If anything, this is a good opportunity for the women at Spelman to see how she responds, so that when she gets on campus, they have a better idea. So I don't know. That's just my. I don't. That was one of the other things besides the mental health. Where when I read that part, I'm like, wait, what are you trying to say? What are you talking about? So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, man. Just like everything, like, but hey, anyway, welcome to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? You'll figure it out. you go.
Welcome to the Atlanta where the players.
Hey, you if you have any things that you need to learn, you will learn it within your first semester will be very out.
You will learn it.
You know what I'm saying?
With Clark,
because. Yeah, Clark Spelman, you learn it. You know what I'm saying? I just say, hey, go in there, act like I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if people have that experience. But I'll be like, act like you going into a neighborhood that you don't know nobody. You know what I'm saying? Come in there very cautious, come in there looking around, mind your P's and Q's. You know what I'm saying? Don't come in there thinking you know everything just because you got a little inside. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know people that might have got you there, but you don't know the actual people there. So come in there and just learn, you know? Cause that's what I do. Anywhere I go, that's what I walk in. I'm quiet. I'm looking around. I'm observing, seeing how people act. I'm just like, all right, I can't come in here with my usual tomfoolery. I have to be cautious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yeah, man. So, best of luck to her. They didn't reveal like her specific name or whatever for obvious reasons, but good luck. But we'll go over one more topic here, which also got lots of traction. Can we talk?
Can we talk?
Can we talk? Do we know how to talk anymore when it comes to getting to know the opposite sex?
Oh boy.
Do we know, like, and I mentioned the screenwriting angle here, Mela. Don't you notice in these romantic comedies, these conversations are trash. People don't say these things. People who actually like each other. Oh, what do you do? Oh, this is what I do. Da 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 da. Ha ha ha. What? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? But I think it's starting to bleed over into real life. Like, people are Netflix and chilling a little too much, and now they think and not talking in actual dates. Like, what do you guys
exactly? Because you're full of sin for one. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, you know what I'm saying? That's what's happening is that you're coming in, you're full of sin. You ain't got a lot of conversation, but you got a lot of sexual attraction. You know what I'm saying? That's the devil's playground. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Netflix and chill.
Oh gosh.
You need to be over there in the corner and reading a book called the Holy Bible, the good book.
I can't. Come on, Darius. No, I did like her angle though.
Yes.
And I love the way that she actually broke it down and gave examples of like,
Yeah.
you know, what do you do for a living? No, say something more purposeful and intent with intent. And I'll say as a person who has been exploring dating apps, I feel like I've been very direct with what I want to know. Because if we're here, we already know that, okay, I like you, you like me. I'm attracted to you by your looks. So it's like, now I got to take that step further to actually know if what I want and desire is aligned with what you want and desire. And I'm not like about to just play around and be like, so what are you here for? You know? And I think from there, I feel like I'm pretty genuine and good with like intentional questions with purpose. Because if I know it ultimately what I want to hear, it'll come through. Like, so for example, I've had many different experiences just being in this space. And there's people, they're very direct. They're like, I want this, I want this, I want that. But then I'm like realistic and like, okay, well, how is that going to happen if this doesn't happen first? So for example, there was a guy that reached out to me. He was like, I want a wife, I want this, I want that. I was like, okay. I said, so let's be friends. He was like, well, I don't want to start with that. I want to get married. I'm like, well, how does that happen if we don't have a friendship first? And so like literally 2 minutes later, he had blocked me. But I was just like, I'm asking you a very genuine question. And then you became deflective and then kind of resorted. So I think even with what she was saying, it's like people are trying to have intentional and purposeful conversations. But if you're not willing to answer that and go there, then what are you here for? Exactly. But I already know now. I know what you're here for. I know. I'm not dumb. I'm an adult. But still, it's just like, if this is what you said that you want, and I'm asking you very intentional, purposeful questions, then why are you deflecting? Why not just answer?
Yeah, he was there for the honey buns.
Not the honey buns. I'm so done.
Wow.
But no, I do feel, okay, outside of that example, I do feel just in general, I really fear for the Gen Z generation. I feel like I'm somewhere in between. Like, I'm a millennial, but I was raised by baby boomers and people like just very old school. So I kind of get that piece. But then also like we're living in a completely new time. So a lot of things are digital as far as like meeting people and stuff. COVID, you know, you're just being very precautionary, things like that. So it's kind of changed. But literally, I just like, even when I look at my sister, right? Most of the people that she talked to is virtual. She don't really hang out with a lot of people, this, that, and the third. So I'm just even wondering what the world's going to look like moving forward and how that's going to really affect genuine, intentional, purposeful, meaningful conversations that really pull out the realness of people to make a decision of this is what, like, if you want to spend the rest of your life with this person or not. I feel like when you hide behind social media anyway, you can create any profile you want. That's the main reason you got hackers, you got catfish, you can steal people's pictures and become a whole different person.
Yeah.
So it's like, even with that, it's just like, how do you truly have meaningful conversations and first of all, you feel like you're having meaningful conversations because you're texting, you're typing away, you're DMing, whatever the case may be. But when you get in person, it's like, yeah, the sky is blue today. Yes, it's really blue. It's pretty. Yeah. And you're like, there's no like purposeful conversation. But as soon as y'all get back to texting, a paragraph here, a paragraph there, and da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Why in person? Why couldn't you tell me this in my face? I was pretty direct when I asked this, so why couldn't you say that?
We're not socially trained though. Like because we email and text and talk, like, you know, first of all, it gives time to think about a witty response, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like how many times we like start typing and then delete, like, oh wait, that's not what I want to say. But then on top of that, like, there's less pressure. Like psychologically, it's like, I don't have to look at you. I don't have to see your immediate reaction. You're waiting though. You're like, okay, are they going to start typing? You wait for the little bubbles to show up, unless you're Team Android, in which case, I don't even know.
I don't know what happens.
I don't know what happened to your life. But, but so there's that. But then when you get in person, you have to perform on the spot. And so if you're not trained in that, if you're not brought up in that, so it's almost like we have to intentionally it's almost like you can't parent somebody else if they haven't been those skills. But that lessens the dating pool. And then also, what do we need to do with our kids one day? Like, what's that going to be like?
Right.
Like, I'm almost wondering, like, are they going to virtual reality date or
right.
It's going to be like the kids, like a headset on.
You know what I'm saying?
Walking around, what is life going to look like? Right. Like, what is life going to look like? And how do you connect? Hey,
Dad, I met this guy on a game.
Hey, look over in the corner. He must be on a date.
Right.
He looked like he looked like he's walking around.
Right.
Let's go for a walk. She's walking around the living room like 3 times.
Outside.
Got the little Oculus things on and just walking. You like, what in the? Oh, okay, I got it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That'll be so hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Got the coordinates set for the wrong park and trip over an ottoman. At Central Park said, oh my God, my bad. I thought we were going to Piedmont.
Right. Wrong state.
Shoot.
Well, yeah,
oh my
man.
God. That's hilarious.
Yeah, but that's the out, man. Like, it's just like I tell people, like, I ask questions, and that's one thing that's what made me like my wife. I didn't have to carry the whole conversation. I was just like, oh, so you got stuff to say back?
Mm-hmm.
I think I like you even more, and I just met you. You know what I'm saying? Because most people you talk to, you be like, I'm the only person asking questions. I'm the only person talking. And then you be like, I know I'm asking questions that require more than a yes or no answer.
Right.
That was a huge turn off for me. I was just like, nah, cuz we can't talk no more.
Or you'll run into somebody who's giving you a lot of feedback, but it's really about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
you know
man.
What I mean? They're not really getting to know you. They have no interest in, what your hopes and dreams are. They're just really trying to rattle off, all right, this is what qualifies me to date you. So what's up?
Yep.
And that goes on both sides too. Sometimes it's like that, because like I said, it's kind of training and conversation. You know what I mean? And dating can be kind of a nerve-wracking thing. So understandable. You can have a plan, until you're hit with it in the face. You know what I mean? Like you're hit with the situation in the face. And then you act different. But, it kind of takes like encouragement of real conversation for one, and then just practice too. And I think people kind of put a taboo on practicing dating. No, man, just take the stakes out of it. I feel like if, like I've seen a lot of young single people in the church, if you take the ulterior motives out the game, like, lust, sex, stuff like that, you're going to feel something for somebody. But at the end of the day, if you're not just trying to trick them, you know what I mean, into an interaction, then you're asking genuine questions. That's part of real conversation, and then and the more you do it, because now you don't have this ulterior motive, you're like, oh yeah, sure, we can hang out. You can hang out. And then when that special someone comes along, you are already trained to ask purposeful questions.
Right, exactly. But see, I don't think that a lot of people know what purposeful questions look like.
They don't.
Which goes to the point of, even in the questions that she asked her post, like, is this typical questions you ask like your friend? How are you doing today? How's it going? And then I know for a fact, like, I know for me, like, I had to start telling some of my friends, especially when in the early stages of like the pandemic, when they asked me how it's going, I said, you need to be more specific, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on and I don't know where to start. Like, I literally just moved into a new state, started a new job, and literally a month later, it was a pandemic. Everything shut down. So I was already transitioning into that new job, into that new space. And then also trying to find a church, trying to do this, trying to do that, all these different things, which was cool because the world was open. I was like, I had time, right? But no, like when the world shut down, it's like, okay, what am I going to focus on first? Okay, the most important thing is my job. Now I'm working from home as opposed to in the office. So what does that look like each day? And motivating myself to get up each morning. Then what's going on in the world is all this, like the outbreak of racism, people getting shot left and right, Floyd, it was a lot going on. It was a lot to process, a lot to take in. Everybody had their own thoughts and opinions. So when you ask me how it's going, I'm like, do you not see what's going on in the world?
Yeah.
Like, I'm feeling what you're feeling
right
now. So, but I need you to be more specific. When you're asking me how it's going, say, how is it going with this? So that I can like compartmentalize what am I going to talk about? Because when you ask me that question, it's overwhelming. But then a lot of people don't know how to say that. They'll just be, I'm okay. You're not okay. But instead of being able to actually get open about what it is, because nobody's asking direct, intentional questions, you're just left in the open, like, well, I'm doing okay. I'm doing well. What is that? So I just think that, a lot of people don't really know what purposeful or intentional questions are, but I think that stems from they don't even know what they want or they're looking for.
Right.
It's exploratory.
Yeah. And I think in journalism, they call those open-ended questions.
Right.
Okay. Ask a question that can have a varied response and that doesn't peg someone into a yes or no or a specific response.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But again, I think we're just kind of discouraged maybe in a lot of interactions because, well, what if they lay it on me that they're having a terrible day and they give me all these details and I'm completely ineffectual?
Yeah.
Well, the chances of that happening aren't as much as you think. And it's very beneficial, even if they're kind of just rattling these things off, just someone to listen, someone to give some kind of feedback. It goes way further than just like kind of giving them surface questions so you can get surface answers back. And so that we can all kind of just check off this box that we've had this interaction, we're dating. So now we get on date number 1, date number 2, date number 3,
right.
Go ahead.
So what's this like? Because the way that I read it, it was more of like for women as opposed to men.
Right.
Like
as Torah.
It was more of like, well, I get it. It's her audience, right? So now I'm interested in like, well, what is it on the men's part? Like
same.
Because go ahead.
No. I was just saying because that was like the way that the article was written. Of course, she's targeting more. That's her audience, women. Right. But I'm interested in like the other side as well because I get questions like that too from men, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that? So what do you really want? Because it's
Mela.
like two things.
Mela, I'm gonna say this.
Oh God! Jesus Christ! I'm not ready.
You have the knowledge of knowing how to maneuver over people's. BS.
I do. I'm talking about the audience. I know.
All right, fellas. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to say, yeah. All right, fellas. You know what I mean? Y'all need to be more like open-ended. Like, don't just ask surfacey questions. Like, most of the time when you ask the surfacey questions, man, people could read right into it. And to me, honestly, it seems disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just asking like, hey, how are you? You know what I'm saying? I just be like, are you just sending me this or asking me this just because, or you really care about how I'm feeling? Right, because it feels very generic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you might as well be asking you up.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You up?
Right. And I think guys too, like another big thing is most of us tend to be so like task focused, like get to the, get like fix it or get to the final decision that we have to not try to come up with solutions when we're talking with women. Like, so just don't try to, if you are going to bring something up where it is like, oh, this was a rough day at work or you don't need to fix it and give her advice on how to do better. So I think just, I
say that one more time.
Like, no, yeah, like you don't have to fix it. And that's not just for dating. In fact, you probably do it less when you're first dating, more when you've been dating for 2 months.
Yeah.
But that even goes for husbands, because we can, you try to fix everything and it's like, that's a whole grown woman. Otherwise you'd be a pedophile. So why are you trying to fix her problems when she's capable and competent? But I would also say because you had brought up like if they ask let's say a flatter question, like, how are you? And you're like, well, I'm complex. Like, there's so much going on right now. For men to know, or for you to know, if that happens to like if you did say well, as far as what, there's so much going on, to say, well, what's at the top of your mind? Like, he doesn't have to figure, he's not going to know what's going on in your head, and vice versa, right?
Right, exactly.
So saying well, what do you want to talk about? Like, what's it like? There's probably 20 things I could think of within 2 minutes to talk about right now. That doesn't mean I need to talk about all of them. So what are the one or two that's pressing? Yeah. But I agree completely with Stevie. Ask the open-ended questions. Just do follow-ups. Okay, tell me more about that. Or how did that make you feel? Or what else have you tried? Or what do you think your next move is going to be? And then know when to pivot the conversation. If it's getting negative, if it's getting heavy, okay, let's hit up something else. But just be present. I think you can tell when, and Darius said this, but you can tell when anybody is disingenuous and not paying attention. So if I'm just asking you to ask you, because really I'm trying to get the honey buns, we'll use that term. You're going to know that, and this ain't it.
Yeah.
But if I genuinely care, I don't know, I think my biggest thing in all that is, I think people need to be friends.
Yes. Oh my God! Thank you.
Oh my God!
For saying that.
When you're genuinely friends with somebody,
he's come back. He's come back.
Like when you're and it's best friends in a different way, right? I've got my God, and we do different things. We talk about God differently. We talk about work and all that. But with my wife, we're best friends, so we can chop it up about about politics, about music, about art, about whatever, not just what color do we want to paint our master bedroom this month? We can talk about so many other things, but it's because we genuinely we click, we connect. So if it's there, it's there. If it's not, I'm the flavor, be friends, go on coffee dates, get to know people. But otherwise, if it ain't there, I'm not talking about just chemistry, but if it's not a match, again, you can't be their parent and try to fix a mold. So let them go and keep it moving. Otherwise, you're going to be
talking to somebody on this live right now.
Yeah. But that's all good, man, because that's what I'm saying. People want to skip over friendship first all the time. And I tell people I don't understand that. I be like, how are you gonna say you're gonna be in a relationship with somebody that you don't even have a friendship with? You ain't even friends with them. That's the part.
When you're old, or what if, God forbid, we don't thinking about this, but what if they become amputated later? What if they're disabled? What if something happens in the marriage and it's not just the physical? There has to be something deeper. That because my plan is to be 85 and old, and so none of that's going to matter as much at that point. It's going to be about the memories, the connection. So you gotta to me, you gotta shop for that. And if anything, that makes intimacy better. That makes the physical is either going to be there or it's not, right? But it makes it even better when it's you feel safe, you feel secure both ways. You feel like they've got your back. You can trust them. They're not lying to you. It's not a game. It's genuine. You can't buy that. So
nah, you can't buy it. You know what I'm saying?
Man, y'all need to get out here and start dating your friends, man.
Become friends,
and then date your friends when the opportunity presents itself. Stop telling that friend. And I'm not just saying this from the men's perspective, women, everybody. Stop being when your friends is just well, hey, you guys have been friends for a long time, and y'all know y'all feeling each other, and you be like, nah, she's the homie, or nah, he's the homie. I can't do that. I can't. Well, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
What's the difference?
Why not?
What's that?
Why not?
Someone's
you're-
gonna get
I'm
delivered
so
tonight.
sick of it.
Someone's gonna go date their best friend tonight. Someone's gonna
Yes.
like, let's go.
I
Let's
claim
go.
it, amen. I claim it for that person out there in the universe that just heard that. Grab your best friend
I
up.
never understood that.
Take across
First day of
that threshold from friendship to relationship. And I hope that on that journey you find your way across a ring and you put that ring on that best friend and you take her across the bridal gates
Threshold.
and bring her into a threshold. Yeah, the threshold. And bring her into your house and live together and have a bunch of little babies and stuff like that. Don't be out here being just looking at your good friend like, man, she care about me and she listen to me and we have such a good time with each other. But that's my homie. If you saying that out there tonight, go and snatch that girl up.
Man,
Let me tell you something. No, I never really understood that though. It's just like you say you want, like I've had like brother friendships in the church, and I feel like there's been like some that's just like genuine friends, like just strictly that. But then there's just like in those friendships, it's like, oh, this person is my best friend. It's like, but did you say that you wanted to marry your best friend? So why are you not trying to pursue her? I don't understand.
But it's almost like we think that if we don't pursue sexuality at the jump, we have a hard time maybe incorporating that later because especially I think compartmentalize and say, okay, because that's the homie, like we're not trying to get with her like that. It's like a little sister or whatever. So we compartmentalize so that we can be friends because it's almost as if we can only build relationships if there's no sex. But if there's sex, then it gets harder to build a relationship. The goal is not relationship, it's sex. So you've got to be able to let that go and say, okay, I can be friends with someone of the opposite gender and have appropriate boundaries, all that. Like if you know you can't go out alone at certain times or certain places with someone of the opposite sex without being tempted, then like know all that. That's
then know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Know that and operate. But it doesn't mean that you can't get to know somebody and then later be like, wait, I think that might be the person.
And
then, so don't be afraid to. And I would even go so far as to say, it can probably be hard once you maybe turn that on and go, oh, I think I might want to be with this person, to turn it off if it doesn't work out. But if you were friends first, there should be enough respect to have clear communication so that if it's not working, it's like, okay, you know what? Like I think just friends. And if it ruins the friendship, it might ruin it, but that's a risk that you take. Like there's
Yep.
But see that and what you said with that is just like that really proves the strength of that friendship, honestly.
Yeah.
If you're saying that this person is your best friend, I mean, aside of all sexual stuff, this is what you're saying. This is a person that you trust. This is the person that you've shared certain things with that you really haven't mostly shared with people, or whatever the case may be. Whatever you feel like makes that person your best friend. Why is it so hard to have that direct conversation?
Right.
As opposed to that be the end all be all of like your friendship. But if your friendship is strong, then it should be like just a adult conversation.
Yeah.
I don't feel in this way. I feel like we should continue a friendship, or it could be the other thing. And it's like it should be no hard feelings.
Yeah.
But then,
because that's how I like look at things. Because I was just like, man, I knew my boundaries. I started learning them, and once I recognized I liked my wife like that, I knew I turned into a little gremlin after 9 o'clock. Especially as I got to go, because she lived by herself. I had roommates.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she had a big old tree. It used to make this nice scenery on the outside, and the little street light looked like a little.
See, now you've been plotting it out like that. So yeah, you made.
I didn't plot it out like that. I just took her home and saw it, and I was just like, "It's real romantic."
I could do.
Exactly, it's being real romantical. So you know what I'm saying? Hey, I think the next time we go on a date, you come meet me at my apartment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
With my 4 roommates.
Exactly, with my 4
So they
roommates.
can see.
They can see me, seeing you, and watch me come in the house.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Exactly. I had to protect myself.
But yes, so it was a good conversation. I guess Mel is gonna change her name in this conversation to Mella Ringwald. You know what I mean? But nah, man. So we're about to get into the interview portion of the program. But before we do that, just more information about our sponsors. So, 16-year-old entrepreneur Samara is providing families with irresistible chemical-free treats that make sharing impossible. So there's gift cards available, whether it's a birthday or a holiday like what's coming up. This is the perfect gift for your loved ones. Check out Samara's vegan offerings as well. You got vegan chocolate chip, vegan cranberry, and Samara's new vegan ginger flavor, my new favorite.
It's good, y'all. It's good.
It's good. It's legendary.
Stop talking about it.
But one more thing. In the spirit of collaboration over competition, Samara has teamed up with 16-year-old entrepreneur Shai LaChef with a special treat that's sure to spice up your life as they offer you Samara's delicious vegan ginger cookies and Shai LaChef's refreshing ginger lemonade.
Ooh.
Yeah. Gingerfied. So yes,
gingerfied.
Had to get that in there.
So
gingerfied. That's right.
Yeah, I remember that song about the brat. Never mind.
So that's offered on the side as well. Samara Special Sweets. It's a combination. You get a nice jug of ginger lemonade and the ginger cookies. I think that's the thing I'm going to do now that I've talked about it. That's a really good idea. Man, that ginger was sensational. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
And now Kanicha wants ginger snaps. I'm just gonna.
Hey, sis, Kanicha, sister, my sister, go get some of them Samara sweets, man. I'm telling them cookies, fire, like hot cold on some meat.
Yep. I think it's Samara'sSpecialSweets.com.
Yes, just like that.
Yep. Go to the website, order there, get them delivered.
Yeah, get them delivered. I'm telling you,
they work. I don't know, but
not in Jersey.
Not in the. Hey, I'm telling you.
And the postman got to your stuff, man.
They got delivered.
No, they didn't.
They got delivered.
Things are
it's okay. I'm gonna I'll post a picture in the group just to let you know that.
They got delivered. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, the post office guy is in there like. Who is this Pamela Little? She get a lot of good stuff in the mail.
It'll be worth
So thank you for being the title sponsor for this episode. We really wanted to put your business out there, so we did that. And that was great. That was
thank
been
you for
fun.
sharing your treats with us. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the treats. You got the personal delivery. I appreciate everything y'all did. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, it was delicious. Thank y'all.
And shout out to that young entrepreneur. That's
amazing.
A 16-year-old out there doing it, like that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So now, Dr. Tatonetti,
all formal.
Had to get there at least once. So, you have your own business that consults in the pricing sector, the pricing industry. How did you first become aware of this industry? If you can give people some background of it, and then how did you become aware of it?
Yeah, so I stumbled into it. It wasn't anything I was planning on doing. My background is very much eclectic from pricing. I went to seminary, went to Bible college, all that, so wasn't trained at all in that kind of area. And then basically through my work, became acquainted with the pricing field and the certification that's out there for it, and just enjoyed it. I enjoyed learning more about it, and so decided to get certified in like the psychology of pricing and sales and negotiations and marketing, everything that kind of touches how you set price. So I kind of fell into it. It wasn't at all like this is something I'm passionate about and I want to go for. It was just an opportunity that came up at the right time. But then the types of clients that I work with are ones that I'm passionate about, which tend to be nonprofits. So I work a lot with nonprofits, with associations, chambers, etc., on how they're pricing. So that's kind of my how the passion can help marry with the technical skill that I have. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Okay, so you spoke about your education, your background. So it's on basically all three levels. It's seminary,
Yeah.
but how has that informed your business and even your life?
Oh, well, I would start with my life. I mean, that was I started Bible college after I got saved, which was an undergrad. So it was my sophomore year, top of my sophomore year of college,
Mhm.
and decided to transfer, not to Spelman. Although that was around the time I was thinking about
Hilarious.
Wilberforce. That was the time I was thinking about Wilberforce. But I decided to transfer to Bible college, and I just wanted to learn more. I felt called to do that. And then I mean, like I've done ministry. I've worked in ministry. I've worked at some churches. Some schools, nonprofits, all of that. So I mean, I've done work that's been related to my degrees as well. But in my personal life, I've known since like junior high that I wanted to get my doctorate. That's always been a goal of mine. I didn't know I didn't know what path I'd be on. So for me, once I started Bible college, it was easy to roll into seminary. And then it was just like, okay, you're already here. Just finish up that doctor of ministry. Because seminary is some years and time. That's a
Yeah.
that's a long program. So by the time you finish that, it's like, oh, I can get my doctorate. Like, just finish it off.
Mhm.
But business wise, I think what's been really great to me about going to seminary, and some of my friends that have gone to seminary too, is I think we're really great leaders in whatever work environment or place we're in, because we
Mm.
get servant leadership. We get people, we get communication, we practice preaching a lot. So you've got to make clear points in a succinct manner. We research a lot, we write a lot of papers, so our writing skills are good. So I think going to seminary, even if you don't plan on being in the pulpit, is not always a bad thing. Like I think I
Mm.
actually love the education that I got.
Yeah.
I think it helps a lot as a parent, as a spouse. I feel like I know a decent amount. I've read a lot of books, as you can see, but but I think that it makes you a good leader. So some of my friends as well that went to seminary that aren't in like a church environment, that aren't preaching every Sunday, they're great leaders though in maybe a corporate setting or in a nonprofit setting. So I
Mm.
think that's been a really cool thing. So I wouldn't write off seminary even if you don't necessarily feel called to the pulpit, but if you feel called
Yeah.
to seminary, like I think that there are some really great transferable skills.
Mhm.
That's interesting you say that, because I never heard anybody say it like that. Like seminary is good and it could transfer into several other things, like
Yeah.
in a corporate manner. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
and just to hear you say that, I was like, I can see how that does that. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, that does make sense. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah.
it's almost like you're getting the best of Toastmasters. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And different leadership skills in order to be able to be present, you know what I'm saying,
Yes.
and be able
Yeah.
to better organized to be able to handle things that come in a corporate setting. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah. Emotional intelligence, all of that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I think all of that. Yeah. I think that the skills that you get are really, really solid. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I love it.
All right, I got a question for you too. Is like in the business setting, you know what I'm saying? Why is it important for businesses or people in general to know the importance of pricing?
So I think it's more for the business than for the customer, because when a
Yeah,
customer thinks of price, right? So like if you think of going to buy whatever a coffee, a phone, a car, you're thinking about, is it a bargain usually, or what's the value versus the price?
mm-hmm.
So I think that for customers, it's more about positioning it in a sound psychological manner. But for companies, pricing really is like the biggest profit lever. Like typically, like the simple way I can describe it is, let's say you're selling something for $100, and that doesn't mean that's all profit, right? So your profit
Yeah,
margin might be 30%. So you're spending $70 to make and sell and everything you've got to do, but your profit's $30. If
Yeah.
you raise your price by even $1, I mean that's a significant increase in your
yeah,
bottom line profit. So, but for your shoppers, that's only a 1% increase, where you might be increasing your price by a good amount. And most profit margins aren't even 30%; they're smaller than that. They're 10, 20%. So a small 2-5% price increase has a huge impact on your bottom line. But you've got to know how to do it. So you can't just go, I'm going to raise the price. You've got to there's market research that goes into it, testing your audience, You've got to know the right value propositions. Why should they buy it at this, price that might be higher? What have you added? Netflix keeps raising our price by about $1 every year,
Right.
year and a half. So it's like they're boosting their bottom line, but even Disney just announced it's going up by $1 in March, and it hasn't even been a year that Disney Plus has been out.
Right.
But all of that, those would be pricing people that are making those decisions, that are figuring out how you position it. So for me, it's a great way to increase profitability without having to cut. Most people think cut costs, or whatever. Discounting is not your friend. You don't want to do it that much. So pricing to me teaches a lot of the financial sustainability. And again, that goes back to why it's important to me, because when I'm working with nonprofits, to me, every penny counts. And I want the money to go right back into their mission. So the more that they can have without being greedy, the more work they can do. So it's an important thing.
Yeah. So I think to that. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, man.
So I was gonna say, so what do you feel like are, like, ultimately, what are the factors that you have to determine to whether to raise it or even lower it, for that matter?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't lower it unless your business is doing bad like that. Then that might mean pricing is off, among other things. It might be the thing. But as far as raising it, I think that when you raise it, it's a lot about communication. So again, talking about seminary and transferable skills, but it's about communication, how you're packaging it. And to me, it's always about adding in value. You have to be able to communicate either you're getting this additional thing, or historically we've added all of this, so now we're raising the price to continue to do that kind of great work. So it might be like Netflix isn't going to say right now, like, well, we brought you Jingle Jangle, or like we were excited when the UPN lineup was done for August, like we want Girlfriends and all that all over again. But they're not going to say because of that we're going up $1. What they're going to say is because we've increased the amount of programming and we've provided more value, we're going to raise the price so that we can continue to do that. So to me, the number one thing is always about the value that you're adding, but you have to know how to communicate it, which is marketing. Right. There's a bit of psychology in it. And also, like, how much do you go up? Like, most companies can usually raise their price by about 10% without people flinching. And that's in general. So it might vary depending on your costs, what price point you're at now. But like Samara, like, if she wanted to increase the cost of her cookies by $1, most people probably wouldn't flinch, and she would make some great extra profit. So that's kind of how, that's kind of how it works.
Yeah. That's dope. Because I Netflix was so polite about raising my thing $1, and then I got the season 2 of Mandalorian, so I wouldn't be mad about that $1. Season 2 was great.
But that's exactly what it is. You've got to communicate it well. If you don't, that's people unsubscribing, and then especially, going back to what we were talking about with the Spellman night, not her, but social media. In 2020, like, if you start getting dragged based on your price or bad customer experience, that's going to kill your brand. So you've got to do it right the first time, and companies know that. Hopefully they do. So because if you don't, you're going to get dragged. You're going to get a bunch of 1-star reviews on your Facebook and Yelp, and it's just going to kill your business. So you've got to do it the right way.
So would you say, like, your appearance, through the social medias and all that stuff like that? So would you say that would weigh a heavy toll on how you price things too as well?
I think that can play a part in appearances, but I don't think it's as important. I think it depends on the product. It depends on how you're positioning yourself. So I think, like, if you're a content creator and you're selling like a course or something like that, right, or journals or something related, or if you're a small business who sells a lot through digital channels, then but depending on who you are, I mean, I think social always matters, but I don't think it makes or breaks some industries as much. Like, if I'm going to buy a Tesla, I don't know what's on their Twitter feed or on their LinkedIn or their Facebook page.
I really don't.
I don't even know if they have one, right? If I want a Tesla, I just know I'm going to save up and I'm going to go buy a Tesla, because they've had other ways, other channels to market and engage. But others, like Wendy's does a great job.
Man, I was trying to tell you, it'd be hilarious.
They drag Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, like, they'll go in on everybody. That just makes you want to go get some spicy nuggets. Like, they weren't even on my radar, but like,
I'm gonna get that 4 for 4 today.
Right. So it's just like so it can be used, yes, but like everybody's thing is not every marketing channel necessarily. So you have to know like what your marketing channels are, how are you communicating, relationship, and then that impacts the perception of your value. Are you high end or are you not? And there's nothing wrong with not. Walmart makes their money. The Waltons are not hurting for money, so you don't have to be expensive, but where are you at? Who are you attracting, and what's the price?
So I want to add to that. So then, I'm not saying pricing isn't important, but I know that marketing plays like into that as well.
Yeah.
So like, what is kind of like that value or that weight, if you will? Because it's like if I say that I wanted to put something out there for $50, but if I market it well, people would be willing to pay that $50. So then it's like, okay, well, you already kind of told me the determining factors of what kind of determines price in that particular niche. But then I guess when you kind of go down to like pricing and marketing, like how they really mesh, like to really get that vision, cast that vision.
So here's the first question I would ask you. How would you feel if that course you could actually sell for $75 and you were leaving 50% profit on the table? Or maybe more, because what if your profit's only $25 per course and it's $25 to make it, and you could therefore double your profits? So that to me is the importance. But pricing is one of the 4 P's of marketing. So it goes hand in hand with marketing.
Right.
So for me, like I consider myself to be a marketing and pricing consultant. So I focus heavily on pricing, but it is about how you're marketing, because the communication, the psychology, all of that is marketing in general. Your product placement, your positioning, all of those different aspects of marketing. So you can market something and do well, but what if you're leaving money on the table? What if, it's called customer willingness to pay. What if they're willing to pay more for that same thing and you're missing out? Like I'm gonna give you, I don't know the name. I'm not going to mention them either because they're not sponsoring this, but there's this good, I'll tell you all offline. There's this good Southern food spot here in Atlanta that is relatively new, like maybe a year old. I literally can't remember their name. I call them like 3 different names combined, and I never remember. My wife knows what I'm talking about. She's getting us takeout from there tonight, okay?
I want some now.
Listen. This is what I'm getting, and people are going to judge me, and I don't care because you just got to listen. I'm just getting some chicken tenders and crinkly fries, which sounds like a kid's meal. But the way they cook it, I'm telling you, it is like normally I get catfish, brisket, something like that. But the chicken tenders are so good. We're not talking about Chick-fil-A Jesus chicken. That's good, but this is like Sunday dinner good. But she pulled up the menu today, and I saw they had raised the price of the chicken tender meal to $17 for 5 chicken tenders and a side of fries. That's it. Guess who paid it though? I was willing to pay for that.
He was like, "Hey, the chicken tenders is good."
And I paid.
I was like, I want the chicken. Because I asked him, like, well, how much is the catfish? It was all the dinners are $17. They priced them all. I'm like, to me, the catfish should be more. But then what I started talking about was, but if they price the catfish at $23, now I need a better in-dining experience. Like that starts. But what if they would have thought, well, we can only charge $12 for this, and their costs are the same, but now they're making more profit. So for me, the pricing is important because it's what allows you to expand, to do other things, maybe hire more people, whatever. And again, it's not about greed. To me, it's about what are you doing with the profit. So it can be greed. Like money is not evil. It's the love of money, right?
Yeah.
So, but it can be a tool. So if you're a nonprofit, that helps you again to do more. But even if you're for profit, what if that allows you to have more of a charitable arm? Or what if it allows you to hire more people or give your employees raises? Like if you're a small business and they're hurting right now in 2020, but thank God they haven't been furloughed. But what if some additional profit allows you to do some more things, pay more benefits or whatever? So there's good that you can do with money. It's a tool. And there's decisions too. Some of my clients are like, we're not going to raise prices right now. It's not a good time. We want to do that as a give back to our people. But outside of COVID, outside of this funk that we're in right now, it's a powerful tool. So it's about what you do with that extra profit and bottom line.
Yeah,
that's good.
Because whoever that is, y'all want to sponsor this show. All you got to do is send me some chicken strips.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if they as good as he said they is,
I gotta come and get mine. Obviously,
When you come to Atlanta to get your cookies, I'll tell you where it's at.
I'm trying to tell you, when we get off here, I need to know where them good chicken strips
I will let you know. It's over by Spaghetti Junction.
That's over there by me. Oh my God.
See,
it's over.
Yeah, but that's the power though. That's the power of it. So like big corporations know that. Why do you think we spend $1,000 for an iPhone? Do you think like most companies you would think would go, our costs to build the iPhone are maybe $200, right? Mm-hmm. So let's just mark it up 100% to $400 and make $200. But if they can sell it for $1,000, how much more? And then how many more advances? Now, Android to me, even though I'm not team Android, I'm team iPhone. But Android does do a good job of pushing some stuff out quicker. It's just buggy. It's just buggy. That's all. Mm-hmm. But they do it first, and that's fine. Not everybody that's first is best. But but that's kind of the point. Like, how much are you willing to pay for something, and what's the value? What's the quality? There's even different kinds of shoppers. Like that's part of knowing all this is. Are your customers more value shoppers? Are they price? Are they, do they want a discount? So they might be the type where you say this is the price, like a car dealership, but you want to negotiate something to feel like you've won. So car dealerships will price in a way to know they're going to give you $1,000 off, or what, depending on how much it is. Exactly. So you feel like you've won, and they can get you to sign on the dotted line and drive off the lot, and they can make the sale. Exactly. So they build that in, right? So. So yeah, it's a whole psychology, it's sales, it's marketing, but it's just about the bottom line profitability for businesses.
Yeah, just know that you're gonna be definitely helping me with a lot of stuff, even with Convrs8, because I think there's a lot of things that we're really trying to do. Yeah, that's gonna be very, very useful information for us as we build out.
Yep. Yeah. Just let me know. I'm here.
Because it's like, it's a lot of that stuff like that I never thought that like comes into play with businesses and stuff like that. Because it's like sometimes you just like, man, why, because when I was young, I used to ask this question, like, all right, why are they raising the price of this thing, man? I came here and the candy bar, I had 57 cents.
To the T.
Right.
To the T. I knew how much this cost.
Right. I remember when the Funyuns were about 25 or 50
cents. Let me tell you something.
$1.25.
I was looking at them joints. I was just like, how could you do this to me? But
when they add more air, they have more air to it. They reduce the amount in it. It does, but and that's where it can be greed, or it can be about the shareholders, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. That keeps the world moving around. It's good and bad, and it is what it is. But I think when it's a small business or when it's nonprofit, it can make a big difference. So it matters a lot. So
yes, because I believe in you doing stuff like that when you about when you're about doing more within your company or more for to be able to do more with your company. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if you're gonna give me the same old, if you're gonna give me some McDonald's chicken strips, I'm a fight. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not paying $17.
Yeah, I'm not $17.
I'm not even paying $17 for Chick-fil-A unless I've been like not eating for a day and I just.
Cause let me tell you something about Chick-fil-A. They don't cut down on the size of them chicken strips. Cause I remember in 2012. There was some thick chicken strips. I was just like, whoo, good old meaty chicken strips.
Yeah. They ain't even giving blessings no more. Sometimes you find that extra nugget.
They don't do that no more. Man, they don't do that no more.
It feels good.
They already eliminated the free refill like before this pandemic. Like if you went in to get the drink and you left the building, you couldn't get one because they were just contamination reasons. So now that's definitely over with COVID. Like there's no more free refills at Chick-fil-A no more.
Man.
That's it. But even think about like Starbucks. Like I don't know if y'all like Starbucks or Dunkin', but you pay twice as much at Starbucks for the same kind of thing. But why? Because of the environment. Like if you go through the drive-through, it doesn't make a big difference. But if you want to go work somewhere, Dunkin' chairs, like the Wi-Fi spotty, but there's
a huge difference.
It's a vibe. It's I can go there for 4 hours and knock out a project or do some work. And that's
Have
what you're
business
paying
meetings.
for. It's not
That's
just
true.
the coffee.
That's true.
But they know that that's a value, though. They've measured that. They've determined what do our customers want, how do we give it to them, and then how do we charge for it?
Yep.
Their employees are partners. That is what they are referred to.
Right,
Partners.
not employees. Yeah, they call them
Yes.
partners. Yeah,
Yeah.
bought in. Yep. So
And
it's all, it's all connected.
Yeah, and see, because like that's one thing I can say that what make when I go to, like, I know if I want to sit down and stuff like that, I'm going to Starbucks. Now, if I'm just finna get me an old hot cup of Joe, I'm gonna go through Dunkin' because I like, you know what I'm saying? I like Dunkin' Donut coffee and I'm paying half as much. You know what I'm saying? So therefore I go to Dunkin'. But if I'm finna sit down and I got a few hours that I'm finna be sitting here, I'm finna go get that Starbucks, because I'm gonna sit in there. I know I'm gonna have me a nice little comfortable seat in the corner.
Yeah,
you
the
know,
leather chair. Right.
Exactly. And they let me get water and stuff like that. It's super nice.
You can get a free refill at Starbucks if you didn't know that.
Exactly.
You get a free refill on a coffee.
Exactly. And I'm in there just drinking my coffee and working, man, and it's a good experience. But yeah, that Dunkin' Donuts ain't got that, and that's why they coffee have to be less, because they don't have the ambiance.
Exactly, and they don't want to invest in it. For them, they're fine with their profits where they're at, but that is what it is. So it is what it is. But so all of that, that's kind of what when I go into an organization, we look at all that fun stuff and figure out how can we increase the profits through pricing. So it's fun.
Yeah.
Man. I got a product that I want to ask you about, Dr. Mike.
Yeah.
So how would you advise the people that gave us this?
Okay.
I mean, Yeezys has been a solid brand, but if this is true, you know what I'm saying? Like,
when I saw these, I thought you will have a firm foundation in the Lord if you wear these, because these look wide and like these look like T-Rex feet. Like they look like dinosaurs. Like, I think the only person that's going to look good wearing these, I can see Kim Kardashian wearing a nude bodysuit with the blush pink Yeezy 400s, and she'll walk down the street for 10 minutes and have paparazzi take photos, and she's never going to wear them again, and she's going to look good, and the rest of us aren't going to look good. Like, how are you supposed to drive your car?
Freaking Barney shoes.
Yo, I'm telling you, you got to have a Maybach. You know what I'm saying? Just to be able to get places in them shoes. Like, yo, them shoes look like Power Ranger putty feet, man. Like, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like the original Power Ranger. You ever seen the putty's feet?
Yeah.
Like that look just like their feet, yo. And I'm telling you, them shoes are ugly. Like I know I'm not gonna, if I buy them shoes, man, if I buy them shoes and they on my feet, man, hey man, I know I ain't gonna look good in them shoes. I'm gonna have to have a bought body to be, you know, I'm gonna have to go buy me a new body to go with those shoes. You know,
I think it kind of Adidas trying to enter that Balenciaga level. You know what I'm saying? Like you would have to have an item like that to go with those shoes for it to be a look, I feel. You know what I mean? But the thing is, though, the one thing that has me curious, though, and you know, my friends know I'm not a sneaker head, but I have a sneaker collection a little bit. But what if they're crazy comfortable?
Man,
I mean, it better feel like it better feel like a cloud around my foot.
They will be worn around. There will be house shoes at this point.
Yo,
not wear them in public.
That better be. You better have a pair of Nimbuses on your feet when you put those shoes on. You better just be walking around like you're like, yo, it's just like I'm on clouds, man. You know, just feet so comfortable and warm. I feel like I got covered by the blanket of the Lord in these shoes.
Look at them. It just don't like. It's just the bottom part for me.
They look like they supposed to be fitted with SpaceX.
They look like teeth.
That's the shoes they need to wear when they go traveling in SpaceX.
Like the moon shoes. Like
the moon shoes.
Right. Exactly.
Them SpaceX shoes right there.
I just don't understand it.
Ah, man,
I
it
just
look
feel
like
like my feet are supposed to be shaped like the ridges at the bottom or something for me to be able to actually be
that ain't
comfortable.
it.
it look like little meringue shoes. Like,
That's
you know
what I
what
said,
I'm saying?
meringue pies. That's what we
Yeah.
call them. Some meringue pies.
Hey,
Man.
I know that I like. Feet you wear back in the day in Adidas was the most comfortable basketball shoes I've ever worn. And then like
Man.
the Boost you wears with Adidas
Yeah.
Boost, those are really comfortable too. So I'm never gonna doubt Adidas on it being comfortable, but is it gonna be enough of a look to sell to the masses? I don't think so. I think this is kind of entering like a Balenciaga, a high label
Yeah.
situation.
When they coming out? Because I'm going
Don't
to the
know.
mall today.
I think they just put this out there. I think they just leaked this out there to see what people would say about it or think about it, and then they'll give more details later.
I'm going to the mall that day. If those shoes come out, I'm going to the mall. I'm going live.
It's step one to the actual release of whatever is happening. They just try to get some conversation started.
Yeah, to the new Yeezys.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Maybe.
The original is still the best for me. Like the
original still,
something versions. Yeah, those were still the best for me. But
yeah.
They were mad comfortable.
Yeah.
But don't run in them. You know.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
But
freaking Teletubby shoes.
Like what? What would you suggest? What would be the suggested path for somebody that wants to become a pricing professional? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Like if there's anybody out there that's interested in it, there's an association for pricing called Professional Pricing Society. So they would be the place to check out. They have a certification that, teaches you everything you need to know, basically. Most people that are in pricing have different backgrounds. Some, got an undergrad in like business. Some of them have like science backgrounds, like physics, biochem, because they have more of an analytical mind. Again, I went to seminary. Like there's different archetypes, if you will. And then some people are more like all up in the Excel sheet, so they're more data nerds. And then there's other people I think that are a bit more like me that enjoy more of the psychology, sales, marketing side of it. So there's almost like a left brain, right brain to it, where no matter how your bent is, like you could do it and you could learn. But I would say that would be a good place. There's not many, usually in undergrad and even grad school, there's only two or three grad programs in the US that even have a pricing focus for like an MBA. So it's a small field. There's not many people that do it, but the earning potential is nice. Like if you go corporate and you don't go out on your own, starting salaries are much higher than average. I would say it's on par or above like a finance or accounting degree. So it's a good field if someone's interested in it. And a lot of room to move up as well right now in it, because it's still a newish field, like in the last 30 to 50 years. So a lot of like Fortune 500s are just now building out teams all around this. And then small companies are, kind of figuring it out.
Yeah.
Too. It's a good path if you're into either numbers or sales. It could be a good career path for somebody.
Yeah, I got you, man. Yeah, I tell you, man, if I ever have a corporation, I'm gonna definitely need got Convrs8. And when people want us to show up to auditoriums and do our show and stuff like that, I need to know how much I need to charge.
Right. How much we're gonna charge for sponsorship?
Exactly.
For listening to live podcasts. All that,
exactly. When Spotify come knocking on my door like y'all did, Joe Rogan, you know what I'm saying? I need to know how much I'm worth.
Yeah. Hey, listen, shoot.
Yeah, man.
Good luck.
Yeah, man. So, does anybody else have any more questions?
No, I don't have any questions. I just have a comment. Or, I never really knew like what truly went into pricing, right? Because I think we always look at, if you're not a business owner, you just kind of look at it from the customer lens, which you kind of explain. I just want to get the best deal. I want to see, usually me, I'm very cheap. So it's like, where's the clearance rack?
Yeah.
Because I'm not paying. I don't care what store I'm in. I don't want to pay as much as I need to for anything.
Yeah.
But I think when you think about a business, there's so many aspects that goes into your why, right? Not just even just product placement, the product you're trying to sell, but then even what's that price point? Because a lot of the times, if you think about like a small business who's trying to put out a soda product versus Coca-Cola, right? It's like, okay, well, what's my middle ground? What am I offering that Coke doesn't or does, or there's some similarities that we can add into the product that helps people to kind of like relate to, kind of like, oh, I can kind of like, this is reminding me of something, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, but they're taking aspects of Coke and trying to put it to their product to make it that much more visible in the marketplace. And then it's like, okay, but then when it is in our marketplace, what is a reasonable price that I put with that value that I'm creating with my potential customers that will make them want to buy and be invested? And as I continue to increase my profit margin, they'll continue to put more money into my pocket as a business owner.
Absolutely, like 100%. Like, so even I'll just use Samara's company again as an example, just because they sponsored. But like even that, thinking about like I love some Publix cookies, right? Like Publix bakery is good and quick, but knowing that there's no preservatives in Samara's cookies, right? Like knowing that's going to be a bit healthier maybe for my family, and that it's support. I mean, for me, I personally value supporting a small business, especially a young entrepreneur.
Yes.
But even if it weren't like, I mean, I love that it's a 16-year-old, but even if it were a 35-year-old or a 50-year-old who's launching that business, the fact that it's a small business, I value supporting that. I value that it's something that you can't just get anywhere. So like, yeah, you can get maybe the type of cookie, but the way it's going to taste, like, again, those chocolate walnut were so good. I could see getting, those as a nice present for someone, or I'm thinking of you or whatever. So you value that, and then you choose to go with that organization for that reason. Exactly. And then you're right too. You brought up a good point, which is building a community, building a tribe mentality, all that marketing, right? But as you build that up, then it feels like I want to continue to be a part of this. I want to support. We feel that way about like the soap company that we use. It's based out of Douglasville, but they went this past year. I didn't work with them, but they went from 200,000 a year in revenue to over 2 million.
Wow.
And they really, like, it's all handmade. It's all, really healthy. And so we use that for our face wash, our body, everything, right? Like we buy all their products.
Yeah.
But that's supporting, and they're shipping nationwide, but that's supporting a Black-owned business, a small business. They're building, they're growing. They just got like a whole factory set up. They've got more employees. So you want to support that. So when you share the story, not only the quality of the products, but the organization and its values, that's going to create that tribe mentality, and it's going to help people want to invest in, even if they're maybe paying a little more than they might somewhere else. Like, I'm not going to go buy Dove soap because I know that this is even better for me, for my skin, which is the largest organ on my body, and it's supporting this company that's doing really good things with their profits. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, because even just like like small businesses and stuff like that, and I feel like that's like one of the things that we try to do. We try to build up a community of people around. You know what I'm saying? Us to try to like help each other to go forward, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like a conversation had here about the sweets and the things like that, and a conversation had here and then people can hear it and they be like, oh, what are they talking about? Provide the information, you know what I'm saying? And just like I know a lot of times I seen Samara, she was handing cookies out at a voting station or something like that. Free cookies and all that, like for people that voted. And I just admire her just work ethic for her own thing, and it makes it actually made us want to get behind her. You know what I'm saying? Just like, let's try to forward her and make it better.
Yeah, or whatever organization. I don't even know where you work at, Mila, Mila, right? Sorry. Mela, sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
But I don't even know. But knowing that your organization, whether they're nonprofit or this,
we're nonprofit. So our school is a nonprofit 501c3, but then we do have different student enterprises attached to the school that are for profit that kind of like that push monies into the nonprofit. Yeah.
Right. But then knowing that you're then able to gift and budget in
Mhm.
all those scholarships that you were talking about in the beginning,
Right.
like that social enterprise, that's doing something good. So that makes
Mhm.
people want to support what you're doing if they know that that's a part of it. So
Right.
that's the entire value, right? Like you want a good product, whatever it is, and you want it to do what it's supposed to do. But then when you add in that social enterprise piece, even in a corporate setting, that really does help. So
Yeah.
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 Yep.
They asked what soap company it was.
Can I say who it is? I don't know if I'm allowed.
Yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
It's Urban Eden is the name. So HERB, and it's either apostrophe before or after the N. I can't remember. And then Eden, but they're in Douglasville. So if you just search for Urban Eden, but they're great. Their pricing is really good as far as like promotions. Like I'm planning on making a whole video over the next month about that's gonna be one of my new pieces of content is kind of what I've seen them doing from the outside. But it's a good company. A lot of our friends use them. I think my wife found them through her doula. So yeah, Urban Eden is the name of the company. They're really good.
Yep. Oh yeah, I found them.
Yeah.
It's a apostrophe after the B.
Yeah.
After the B in Eden. Yep,
Yeah, I put it in the comments.
Okay, dope. Yeah, so they're good, but yeah.
But yeah, that's all exciting because I know like us as a company, just some of the stuff we've been talking about. I just feel like our mentality toward our podcast has always been, no matter how small we have been, it's like if we're gonna put somebody on, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not gonna wait till we're big time to help somebody out. Like, hey, when we had like less than 100 followers on YouTube, we're gonna put someone on so that they can get YouTube followers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So as we grow, it will be nothing new. You know what I mean? So then it's just a matter of strategies on how to do that and whatnot. So that's exciting.
And I think other things too is just like things that we can add that adds value to our platform outside of just a podcast. Because even before we actually, first of all, podcast was just Darius and Stevie. I was an added addition later on down the line.
Video was her idea. That's the thing.
Video. We wouldn't have had video if we was two dudes in a room.
Yeah.
And so I think even with that, it's definitely evolved into, a couple of different ideas that we will be happy to share with you offline, of course. But I do feel like there's different visions that we have that I feel like can be very impactful if done right. And I think even in this conversation, I'm grateful for it because it's like, okay, if we really want to do this right, we really want to be able to like put the dollars that we put aside that we're investing into the business to the use of like, how can we make a profit on the things that we're really genuinely trying to push out on our platform, not just so that we get more listeners on our podcast, but that we can create a community of people that's not just in our immediate circle.
Right. That greater impact that you want to make.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest tips I'll give you there too, and we can talk later too, but one of the biggest tips I'll give you there is don't always base it on what you think your people want. So that's one of the like biggest, like that's usually like day one, meeting one, when I work with someone is they'll say, well, we think we need to do the A, B, C, like this is what our people, and I'm like, did you talk to them? Did you do any market research? Have you surveyed them? Have you done focus groups? Have you listened to the voice of the customer in your social channels? Have you done one-on-ones, like anything? It's like, well, no, but we just really think this, like, or we've seen other companies do this. We think they would love it. And it's like, okay, cool. Like might be good, right? But let's stop, pause, go back a step, and let's actually talk to your current customers, past customers, or listeners, or donors, or whatever the setup is of the organization.
Right.
Let's go talk to some current, some lapsed, and some potential. Like, let's get a couple different segments going. Let's find out from them what they want. Because sometimes it might be like, I've had some organizations where it's as simple as like one of them, it was like the newsletter that they sent every month. You had to log into the portal to get it. So they would send an email to members saying, hey, here's, the new newsletter's loaded. Here's the link. Then they got to click the link, log in. So it was only like 3 or 4 clicks to get to it, but still. But I'm like, okay, but why not just send them it directly? And they're like, well, like they might share it. Okay, then what's worst case scenario? Somebody says, oh, I want to make sure I get this every month. Let me become a member. Like I get rated content, right? Like everything can't just be out there. But I'm like, out of everything that's in your membership for this organization, the newsletter is like the lowest hanging fruit. Like,
yeah.
And once they log in, I told them they could literally just download the PDF and email. So like you're making it easier for them to share it, but you're also making it a lot easier for your members to engage, which will keep them involved and feeling like they're getting the value that they're supposed to be. So that was something that was free. It didn't cost anything. It was just a change in operations and how they did it.
Right.
A lot of times though, there are things that it's like, oh, we can invest here or make this or do this, and that'll substantially do something. But sometimes when you talk to people, it's like, it's real simple. Like they'll tell you what they want, or if they're ready to walk. Like if they're quiet, they're not into it anymore. So even that, like that would be my like one tip is like, as you throw out ideas, like present them maybe and say, what do you think about this? But also ask, what do you want? It almost goes back to what we were saying about dating, right? Like, what's your intent? Like do open-ended questions and just talk to them and find out. And then you have to know how to measure, if you make these changes, what impact does that have on the business, on your cost, on your price, what they're willing to pay, on your bottom line profits? Is it worth it? All that jazz. So
awesome.
That's great advice.
Yeah, that's some great advice. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you sharing a little bit of yourself with us. You know what I'm saying?
And man, this has been great.
Thanks for having me on.
Our conversators, you know what I'm saying? I hope y'all learned something too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and the audio, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all be listening and stuff like that. We appreciate everything y'all do, everything y'all show up and everything y'all. Thank y'all for supporting us, man. Like for real.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I say that at the end of every show. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank y'all for y'all support. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. Share more. You know what I'm saying? Keep sharing with your friends. Keep sharing with everybody out here. We want to be able to get these good conversation out to people, man. For people can learn, they can stretch themselves further and be better from it.
Yes, absolutely. So now we have come to our, final thoughts segment of the program. If there's anything you want to plug, or is there something you want to say in summary to everything we've said? So what are your final thoughts? We'll start with our special guest. Final thought, Dr. Mike.
I feel like because we've talked so much about entrepreneurship, I'm just going to put out there that if you're thinking about doing something, like go for it, try it, do it in a way that makes sense, but don't be afraid to pursue a new career or go after whatever it is that you're thinking about doing or expand. I've seen comments about event companies and, of course, Samara's here and all that. Like, just go for it and do it. Why not you? Why can't you do it? If you've got the knowledge, go for it. And, I feel like that's a great way to produce some freedom of time, of possibly money, eventually as you work hard, so that you can do some really great things in your personal life. So go for it and be inspired.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, Mela G.
Oh my gosh, this was a great episode, y'all. I don't know how y'all feel, but I just feel like from start to finish, this was a really good conversation we've had in a while. Not to say that we haven't had good conversation in our other podcast.
No shade to our other guests.
Right. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like this has just been some really good conversation around yes, we did kind of use examples, but I do feel like we got in depth about just topical topics like relationships and worth and different things like that. So I feel like today was a really good conversation. I just don't know, like my final thoughts I guess would be is just kind of just piggybacking off of what Dr. Mike was saying. It's just like I think he will be a great resource. I think if you weren't listening to the advice that was given or just a breakdown of the importance of pricing, like even if you're thinking about that, I feel like he would be a really great person. And I'm not saying this because this is sponsored. I'm being paid to say this. Like this is just because of the conversation we had today. I feel like this will be a great person for you guys to, make the time for. Because if you're going to put out a great product, and you want it to, not just for the sake of making money, but you really want to add value to a space, I think it's just important to take the time to realize how much you truly are going to be putting out before you get back. And you don't want to just put out dollars just for the sake of putting out dollars, because if those dollars you're putting out not making a profit, then what are you putting them out there for? And I think a lot of people when they are starting a business is like, well, let me try this, let me try that, and it's cool, right? We're learning. But if you're introduced to a resource that can be very helpful, that can eliminate a lot of that, then, I will definitely, take it up. So I think before launching anything, take the time to do research, because I know my fault was, I get a really great idea and I get so eager and I jump on it and I put too much out too soon before I think it through on what is that really going to look like. So even just taking your time, work behind the background, work behind the scenes. Like sometimes God gives us things in pieces. Maybe He's just giving you this to get excited, to move forward and do something, so He can give you another piece of the puzzle. So, like I would say that's my advice. To an entrepreneur, like, have great ideas, but think them through and get a team of people that's going to help you think them through as well. That's going to be able to get your product, your service, or whatever the case may be that you're trying to put out there in the right way.
Yeah. Final thoughts, Stephen Neal.
Well, I would just say that I want to plug one more important thing, just like the last episode. Voting is tomorrow. Voting starts tomorrow. So as far as the runoff election here in Georgia, I know if you're not in Georgia, then I guess this doesn't apply to you, but get out there and vote once again. And I just want to really just express my appreciation to, the conversators out there who have supported us now through 4 seasons now. It was 2 seasons this year, because of, kind of we had a gap in time, but now we're entering season 5. It's kind of mind blowing. It's just a coincidence that Thursday was like the 3-year anniversary of me and Darius kind of coming together on this for the first time.
Brother Jazz Vic put it out there and brought us together.
Shout out to your frat there, Dr. Mike. But man. So it's been quite a journey, and Mela coming on. I mean, I want to shout her out too, because in the same breath, like what started out as a guest in episode 4, she never left us, and then she just threw us on video, like 4 or 5 episodes later, just like on a whim.
And
it just kind of opened up our platform. That's the talent that we're working with. You know what I mean? That's the kind of talent we're working with, and just adding the guest component. Dr. Mike, you are our like 45th guest. So that is crazy to think about, that we've done this 45 times with people that we mostly know too. Like we mostly
know some pretty awesome people, man.
Exactly. So just that aspect of it really grew our podcast. As far as not only who listens and looks at it, but just like what we do with it. You know what I mean? So so just grateful for that. Thankful through all the support, and looking forward to what's happening in season 5 and 2021 in general.
So
that is my final thoughts. So what's your final thoughts, Darius J?
Darius Jangle for the episode. I like to say, man, like, my final thoughts is, y'all know me. Y'all know how I do my final thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I try to dig a little bit deeper. And deep as I can get is always, and one thing that I've been meditating on this week is just gratitude, man. Like, being grateful. You know what I'm saying? Like, we take for granted how much being grateful for things is. And what really kind of made me really think about gratitude, it kind of brought it all home, was just like even what Stephen Neal posted on our Throwback Thursday on our platform. And I was just like, dang, man, it happened like that. I was just getting over the flu. Even in that whole time, I was like, I was sick. And you know what I'm saying? I was, it was snowed in, and we was having, so we did church online. You know what I'm saying? And in that, throwing those ideas out there and then seeing them land somewhere, you know what I'm saying? It was a true blessing, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like every step of the way, God has been, showing and orchestrating our life to weave something great together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like everything that we do, you know what I'm saying, it has gotten better, even with adding Mella, you know what I'm saying, and having Stephen Neal dive deeper into his gifts, because just like a lot of the stuff that you see visually and stuff like that, and that's Stephen Neal, man. Like, he helped making my wall look a little bit better back there. You know what I'm saying? But and I'm grateful for that, man. I'm grateful for Mella, you know what I'm saying, everything she don't add, and she opened up our minds to kind of just think, hey, think big picture. You thinking like small, but we can think this big, you know what I'm saying? And just like seeing everybody's skills come together, like, Voltron, and it's just making something bigger and better than, just us ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And grateful for having guests that will come through and, agree to come sit with us and share part of their lives. We're grateful for you guys, man. And y'all really helped make this podcast what we thought it could be, you know what I'm saying? And I just pray that, season 5 just open up, you know what I'm saying, like way more doors, you know what I'm saying, to help people see inside different people's lives, help us to bring, more content to you guys, and then really take off with Convrs8, you know what I'm saying? And I pray, I hope that the conversators, you know what I'm saying, enjoy this content. That's why we're trying to be better, you know what I'm saying, and try to be more focused. And I'm grateful for it all. Like, I'm grateful. Like, it's just, I couldn't ask for a bigger blessing than what I have before me now. And and because just like gratitude helps you take in the things that you're sitting on, it helps you to be in the moment, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you keep going around aimlessly, you know what I'm saying, and you don't, and people, I tend to hear some people complain, and I just be like, all right, man, but you are way further than you were 5 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Like, your life is different, because if you was living in what you say you came from 5 years ago, you might have had something to complain about. But right now, you know what I'm saying, you just couldn't get your tea from Caribou Coffee today, something like that, you know what I'm saying? So, but just, you know what I'm saying, that's how we gonna continue to grow and continue our hearts to grow and to bring people in. If you're not grateful for what you're doing and grateful for the life you live, it's very hard to make an impact, because people don't see any light in you, you know what I'm saying, if you're not grateful. So, practice gratitude on y'all walks this month, week, day, hour, minute. Be grateful.
Yes, y'all. So this one's in the books.
Yes.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah.
If 2021 don't go how you wanted to go, just remember you left 2020,
Right.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying? So, you made it out of 2020. The best is yet to come, you know what I'm saying? I seen plenty of people take lemons and make lemonade during this time. So
it's super encouraging.
Yeah, it's been super encouraging, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even know StreamYard was a thing, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So now, and that was my supervisor used StreamYard, and I was like, this is dope. We should try to integrate that into our platform, because we was using Zoom at first. But with this you can interact with the audience more. We don't have to have one phone open on Facebook and trying to figure out who's commenting, adding in on the conversation. We can all manage it from here. And this is not now StreamYard, you hear this, right? Because I know y'all monitoring y'all social channels. If you want us to sponsor you, we will look forward to talking to you soon.
Let us know. You know what I'm saying? We got you.
This is not a sponsored episode by StreamYard. Just let you know that.
Exactly. I ain't gonna sponsor you for free, because y'all don't let me use it for free.
Right.
But man, it was a wrap, man. This was Convrs8. You know what I'm saying? We thank y'all. We love y'all. Have safe holidays. We out.
And don't forget, season 5 premieres on January 10th.
Oh yeah.
And our special guest, we're just going to go ahead and say it so people can anticipate it. Mike S., everybody. Mike S. Artist, producer. He does a lot, man, and we're going to talk to him. And I got a little flyer to show y'all.
Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go, Mike. Can't
Right,
wait
the
to
fifth
have you, brother.
Excited.
The 5th season starts January 10th, 4 p.m.
Exactly. So get your computers ready and pay your phone bills and pay your internet provider service.
Oh
And
my
we
goodness.
coming to y'all January 10th, 4 p.m. You know what I'm saying? Eastern Standard Time. Everybody else figure out your own time. I don't know.
I can't.
We're gonna learn these time zones, Darius.
Yeah, we are. We are.
Yeah,
I know Central. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
Yeah, good night, y'all.
Good
Good
night.
night.